that. Let's just quickly run through the basics here. So I'll open up a curve chart just now, but let's just open up oil here. Um, there's a backwardation in Contango. It sounds very fancy, but it actually just means an upward trending slope or a downward trending slope. So when you take a look at an oil's futures curve, remember that oil gets traded in futures contracts, right? Because it's a commodity. So you'll always have your front of month contract, which will normally be your M1. Then you'll have the month after that, which will be M2, and you'll have all the way up to the as far as the futures contracts go. So let's just call this M, 22 to look 22 months out, for example. So a futures curve will basically track the prices for the different futures contracts. So when you have a Contango, a futures market that's in Contango, that means that your front of month, so your earlier contract, so this month and the month after that and the month after that, will have lower prices compared to future prices. Okay, so that is a Contango market. It just means an upward trending futures curve. And when you have a backwardation, that's basically just the opposite. So then you also have your futures curve M1 to, let's just say, M22 or wherever, how far it goes. And that'll be a downward sloping futures curve, meaning that your front of month contracts will be, have a higher price compared to that of the later contracts. Right now, to explain why this happens, there can be many different reasons why a market goes into contango and backwardation. The normal running of the mill of a futures contract is normally contango. That is what you would normally expect to happen, and the reason why your future prices is normally expected to be higher. So the reason why you normally have a contango is because your futures prices will always have premium embedded in them. So, for example, if you buy oil right now, let's say that you buy oil on the front of month contract price. The reason why your later contracts would normally be more expensive is because there's a premium built into that. So what is the premium? If you buy oil right now today, you basically need to pay to store it somewhere, right? You need to pay potentially to ship it from one place to another. You're probably going to want to take out maybe insurance on that product. Maybe you need to account for your opportunity cost. Obviously, if you need to buy it now and hold it, you could have bought and did something else with that money. So you'll need to account for opportunity cost. So that's why normally speaking, a futures market will be in contango, where your front of month contract prices will be lower than that of the later contract prices, because it needs to account for many different things. We normally call that premium, we call it your cost to carry. So it's your cost to carry that product right now. So that's the normal way of doing things. Then you can also get a backwardation, which is pretty much where oil has been over the last couple of months. And what a backwardation means, again, it means that your front of month contracts, the contracts that you can buy oil for now, will be higher priced or higher valued compared to those later. So later contracts, let's say 5, 6, 1 year, 2 years from now, those contracts will be cheaper. Now, think about what this means. The reason why your future contracts would be lower, despite things like cost of carry, if that happens, it normally means that there's a massive short-term issue with supply, right? So, for example, right now we've got the Russia-Ukraine issues going on. That's obviously creating more demand for oil right now. That's creating supply constraints. At the same time, we have capacity concerns for OPEC, where even though they've upped their production over the past couple of months, they haven't been able to meet that rising production. So that's causing stress, supply concerns, saying, hey, if they can't keep up with this, what if demand suddenly increases and there just isn't enough oil? What's going to happen to prices then? At the same time, we've been drawing back inventories by quite a bit. So whenever you see a market in backwardation, the reason why your front of month contract would be higher than that of your later contracts, despite things like cost to carry, is when there's some real concerns about supply. That normally shows it's a very tight supplied market. Supply is very tight. There's concerns about supply. In a normal running of the mill, when it's contango, those types of fears isn't there. You normally have a market that thinks, okay, we are well supplied, we're not oversupplied. Everything should be fine. Now, something to keep in mind is obviously the steepness of your contango and your backwardation can also, is also important to keep in mind. So, for example, let me just quickly delete some of this here. Delete some of these drawings for a second. Okay, so this is your normal backwardation and normal contango. Now, what you can sometimes see happen is you can sometimes see a backwardation curve that starts here, but it might ramp up massively like that. Now, the steeper that backwardation curve is, the more upside that should place on things like oil prices in the near term. And when you see that type of massive steepening of the backwardation, that just means that there's a massive amount of supply constraints or supply issues right now. So the size of the supply issue is basically the steepness of the backwardation, if you think about it that way. So the steeper it goes, the more aggressive that means supply concerns, and that should in the short term obviously mean more upside potential for oil prices in the short term. And when that starts to cool down, obviously it means there's lesser concerns, or theoretically speaking, lesser concerns about supply, which means that the front of month contract should come down relative to that of the back end or later month contracts. And that normally is more negative for oil prices. Now, you can also get a very, very steep contango. So even though this is what your normal contango chart looks like, sometimes you might have a contango chart that looks something like this, sometimes even like this. Now, when that happens, it just shows us that there was a very sudden um, oversupply concern, or possibly lower demand concern, right? So, what you would have seen happen back in 2020 when you had the COVID crisis just hitting the markets, there was a massive concern. Obviously, at that same time, we also had the price war developing between Russia and Saudi. But apart from that, there was a lot of demand concerns and oversupply concerns, thinking, oh boy, with the whole world closing down, who's going to buy oil? We're going to have a massive oversupply and super low demand. And that saw a huge, steep contango curve where the front of month contracts absolutely fell off a cliff lower, while the later contracts obviously traded at a much higher price. And that is normally a very negative environment for oil prices. So um, let me just quickly, that's just a quick explainer. Let me show you what an actual forwards or futures curve chart looks like. Let me just quickly open up this one. Now, unfortunately, Sahid, I'm not aware of any futures curves like this in TradingView. So the one that I'm using right now, this platform is called, it's Refinitiv, it's Icon. I know Bloomberg also has, and I do think there's other websites that you can use for it as well. I'll show you one that's free, basically going to show you the exact same thing, just not as fancy. But I'm not sure whether it's available on TradingView though. So let's just quickly add in CL here. CL is just, it's WTI. Let's just get the futures contract. And there you can see there's that futures curve. So here we can see that the current front of month sitting at $91, and that drifts all the way back down. And this is a very steep backwardation curve. So why so steep? Again, recently we've had a lot of supply issues, Russia, Ukraine, capacity constraints, drawing down of inventories. All of that has created quite a steep backwardation. So again, this should normally be a positive for oil prices because it shows there's supply concerns. Now, if you compare that back to 2020, let's add in 2020 CLV1, and let's just go historical, and we'll go down to, let's go back to April 2020. And now you're going to see that very, very steep contango market, right? So in that drawing that we had, normally contango would be more of a straight line. So let me quickly show you a normal contango first. So let's just look at a couple of months later, because remember what happened back in April, or was it May? May 2020, we had OPEC coming out with that massive production cut that obviously stabilized oil prices, and that stabilized the contango. So let's just take July and August. It should have been stabilized by then. And let's just see if that looks better. So you can see a more straighter, a more flatter, if you will, contango, right? So lower, so front of month contracts still lower in price, but this is a more normal, if you want to call it that. This is a more normal running contango, and a more normal running backwardation will look something similar. So the further and further we got away from April, the further and further we got away from those production cuts, you can see that that steepness went away. So again, if we compare that to what happened back in April, March should be, equally bad. Let's just go to March. Well, it only hit end of March, right? So let's take April rather. April should be the worst. There we go. So you can just see that very steep contango. So when you see that falling off a cliff here at the front end, that tells you either concerns of massive oversupply, or tells you concerns of massively lower demand, or both, as was the case back in 2020. So this is what you can use on Refinitiv. If you want to use this, there's a free website that you can use. Let me just grab that on the screen for us here for a second. It's just called erce.energy. And let me just grab that on the screen for us. So here you can see there's the URL, and this basically shows you the exact same thing, and it also gives you some historical charts to work from as well. So you can see the exact same backwardation. It's absolutely free. I'm not aware of any of this type of charts on TradingView, unfortunately. So if you do want to use this, this is a possible site that you can use. Now, in terms of your second part of the question, how can we use this to predict oil prices? I wouldn't really use the word predict. I think it'll help us to spot possible inflection points where the markets might be shifting. But I won't ever use things like backwardation and contango to try and predict where oil prices will go. I think there's other things that we need to look at. But what you can use this curve for when they are useful is you look for those really, really big extremes where the markets have gone from either a very flat backwardation, or even let's just say a very flat backwardation to a very steep backwardation, or let's say a very flat contango to a very steep contango. That obviously tells you that we are at a very, very big extreme right now. So let's do this for a second. Let's take CLV1 here. Let's just add this in again, and let's go. Let's just go back to December here for a second. So can you see how between the December, we still had backwardation? But if we compare that to February, suddenly we've seen that very sharp, massive increase, that very steepening of the curve. Now, what that tells us, obviously, massive amount of supply constraints or supply concerns, right? We've seen that with Russia, Ukraine. We've seen that with OPEC. We've seen that now with inventories. Now, what I like to do is I normally like to use these extremes. When I see that from just a month or two or three ago, when we've reached those very big extreme moves, and at the same time, you start to see prices looking a little bit heavy, starting to, that momentum starting to die down, that can be a good trigger to look for some potential mean reversion plays. Now, I won't just use that to trade oil, right? That's one of the things that you can look at, looking at mean reversion opportunities. The other example holds true as well. Let's say that you were looking at a more flat, a very steep contango, and then suddenly it starts to flatten a little bit. That can show that, hey, maybe there's a little bit more pressure coming into the market. So you can track various months and see when there's been, real changes in the futures market. But, keep in mind that those types of changes in the steepness of backwardation or contango, it should normally be represented in the price as well. Sometimes there's an arbitrage opportunity there, but the futures market is massive, and there's people out there that uses these contracts not just to profit from them, but to hedge. Maybe people that are in the production. So on the production side, or let's say it's companies that needs to hedge against oil price movement. So normally your spot should reflect more or less what's happening in the curve already. So there's very few arbitrage opportunities, I think. And I think there's many, many algorithms that can track so small incremental changes that oftentimes by the time that it's very clear on the futures curve, by that time it should be priced into spot, if that makes sense. So that does make the opportunity slightly smaller. But again, that's why I like it from a mean reversion point of view, because if everybody is bullish oil and we're at a very extreme in terms of backwardation or contango, basically meaning negative oil prices, obviously, then that could be interesting places to look for some mean reversion opportunities. Again, you don't just look at that. You need to look at the other factors that drive oil. but that can be one way of looking at it. The other one is looking at it from sentiment shifts, right? Normally, when you get shifts from a contango market to a backwardation market, or when you get those big incremental shifts in sentiment, that's normally the best time to look for some short-term opportunities in oil. When the markets, when everybody talks about, let's say we've been in contango, which is obviously the normal running of the mill. Let's say we've been in contango, and then suddenly you see reports coming out everywhere: oil in backwardation, first time since X, first time in 40 months, first time in this how many months, backwardation. Or when it shifts to contango, that normally tells us there's a lot of underlying shift that's going on in the sentiment point of view. And when it's that type of big sentiment shift that goes from contango to backwardation, unless it's due to the contract expiration, etc. You need to make sure that it's based on an actual supply issue, not just the difference between contract prices from expiration to expiration. Just make sure that's not why it's in backwardation, etc. But if it's based on real supply issues or supply concerns, and you see that shift, that can also create some short-term opportunities. Normally that sentiment lasts longer than just a day, and that can normally transpire into some excellent opportunities if you're on the right side of it, obviously. And the other one to look at it is, like I said, when you have those clear shifts between the two. So not just going from backwardation to contango, but when you're going from either a flat backwardation to a very steep backwardation, or when you go and going from steep backwardation to flat backwardation. Those types of trades can also be interesting. But again, those types of big shifts is normally going to be reflected in your spot price by the time that it happens. So it's in many ways old news, but definitely something worthwhile looking at, especially if you're really serious about trading oil. It is something to keep in the back of your mind, but it's not something that I would necessarily, I won't use just that as the premise for a trade, right? I will use that as additional information, as additional things to include in your analysis, but I won't necessarily base a trade just purely based on what current contango and backwardation levels are like.